Alright, so we didn't catch any fish today. We checked out a new spot. Probably won't go back there again. But since we didn't catch any fish today, figured I'd go over, just do kind of a gear video, a little bit of a review on my Old Town Predator PDL. I've had it for just about a year, maybe a little over a year now. So figured I'd kind of go through some of the things that I like and don't like, and some of the upgrades and different changes that I've made throughout the year. But I'll get into that. So let me grab the camera real quick, and let's see. So start out with most important thing, in my opinion, makes you catch more fish. All your stickers on the front. Anybody that knows me knows anything that I do has to have something to do with the Appalachian Trail. So I got my little Volkswagen bus AT sticker there. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Just does all the different stickers. Obviously I got to put my little woodworking business sticker on there with a little By His Stripes Customs selfless plug. But I'll go over a few of the things that I've got set up. So start at the front. I have the Magellan Outdoors fish bag. I love this thing. I don't keep, especially when I'm trout fishing, I do not keep large trout unless I've, damaged their gills, or I don't think they're going to make it, or I can't revive them, something like that. So from the front to the back, I'm not exactly sure how long it is, but I've never had a problem putting in a fish. Fill it with ice in the morning, and it holds ice pretty much all day. I've had a couple of times where it does melt. It comes out the seams, kind of runs down the channels of the kayak and down into the water, so it's not too bad. It does block my there's my fin therapy sticker. That's one of the first stickers I put on my kayak. And then so this part was the fin therapy sticker, and then I added that later on, but made it look like one sticker. Excuse me. Little place, buy a lot of things, for a lot of lures and stuff from. Neuse River Bait and Tackle. Matter of fact, Todd Willis is who I bought this kayak from. This used to be his kayak. Gave me a good deal on it, and that's what started me down the road. So anyway, the fish bag does block my front hatch, but in my front hatch all I have is my battery and a dry bag. In the wintertime I keep a dry bag in there with some warm clothes in case, God forbid, I do flip and go in the water when I get to the shore, or I can get back in the kayak. I have something in there. I have a towel in there. I have some fleece clothing and dry clothes. I keep you can see it looks kind of cluttered. It looks like there is a lot of things on the kayak, and believe it or not, trust me, there's a lot. But I have this is the most recent edition, second most recent edition. This is my 3BR Power Sports all-day power kit. So this is a milled aluminum housing. It's real nice. It's made specifically for my GoPro Hero 8. Put the camera in the back here, and then this is nice because it slides down in there and magnetic locks, so that whole thing is locked in there. That keeps the camera from falling out, and allows you to connect this little plug here. So this plug is attached there's a nice rubber seal on here. So you plug this into the side of the camera. I'm actually using the GoPro right now to film this, so I can't set it up. But anyway, you plug this in the side of the camera. It goes in this door. This door flips open. It's hard to do with one hand, but this door flips open and allows this plug to go inside here, and then it plugs into the power on the camera. Then this door flips closed. You just flip it closed like that, tighten both of these screws down, and it's a nice waterproof seal. So it's waterproof, rainproof, all that. And this cord runs down this ram mount. So I've got the, what is it? I think it's an 18-inch ram mount. Yeah, 18-inch ram mount. It comes down this ram mount, and this cord goes around and into a, let me see where I'm at here, into a backup battery, like a Mophie power pack that I keep in this waterproof case. I drill the hole in the side, put the cord through, plug that into the Mophie power pack, and that thing will run probably 2 full days if I wanted to. But it just stays in the side. I am gonna wire in a USB plug. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it, because I want to make sure that it's as waterproof as possible. But I'll wire that into my battery, which is in this front compartment here. PDL drive, I have no complaints. The PDL drive is very simple, really quiet, foolproof. The only thing that I would suggest is in the wintertime, you switch these pedals out. You know, you can see that they're kind of wobbly. I am going to swap them out for some grippy pedals, because I've been pedaling a ton and I've kind of wallowed these things out. Yeah, that's a little ridiculous, like a 8-year-old big wheel. The other thing that I've been running into a problem with is the paint. A lot of the paint is chipping on some of the metal areas. I just need to do some maintenance, clean it up. That's to be expected, not a big deal. But the PDL drive, simple. When you're on the water, you just unlock. If you're coming shallow, you can pull it up, set it right in there, and it rests in this little rest point. Okay. Well, when you're ready to go again, you just pull it up, drop it down in the hole, lock it in place, and you're supposed to, I try to keep this thing locked all the way like that, so it's got the most pressure. Instant forward and reverse, super simple. You can go back and forth. Little prop drive down here, you can kind of see underneath there. So I said that that GoPro case was my second newest addition. This is my first newest addition. This is the Lowrance Hook 2 9-inch. It is a monster display. Got a really good deal on it at Academy Sports. Love it. Side scan, down scan, and regular sonar, and then it's also got built-in map, and it's got a space for a Navionics chip, which I'll be adding here pretty soon, because I'd like to be able to look at maps and stuff. Not that I need them on a kayak, but it does help when you're kind of scouting. I'd like to get that. Anyway, seat holds my big self up. Stitching is really good. I have no problems with the seat whatsoever. I have had no complaints on it. Really simple. I keep my seat on during transport. I fold it down, pull these straps tight, and it cinches this down. It does allow for airflow out the back. and it rides just like that, no problems, 75, 80 miles an hour down the highway. You can just make sure these straps stay tight and the whole thing is in there. The one thing I did add from Navarre Kayak, I added the risers that lift the seat up a little. Makes it much easier for you to get, you know, standing up, going from a seated position to a standing position. That's where I keep my top water baits and my, you know, odd shaped baits, some fat boys, and there's a devil in there, and a couple of glass minnow, or glass, what are they called, glass ghosts, but mostly my top water stuff. And it stays in this Plano case, slides right in the front. My mirror lures, all my mirror lures, they stay in the bottom there. Typically when I'm in the boat, I put them this direction so they're nice and easy to get to. You know, because I do swap out mirror lures a lot. Another piece from Navarre Kayak that I just added was this here. This doesn't seem like much, but man, it is amazing. So this goes right in the scupper hole. So Navarre 3D prints these and gets them shipped out to you really quickly. And he's really done a lot of put a lot of thought into this. You can tell, see these little holes? Those are there for a reason. Those holes actually go through to the center. So if this kayak does get water in it, which it does, it comes up around the edges, it comes in the scuppers, it comes in the front. Anyway, when it gets water in it, these allow, those little holes allow that water to bail back out. Okay, so they go in there, and this thing here just sits in, and it keeps this from falling over a lot. Because before I got it, this thing would constantly just fall over like this and be in your way all the time. So you set that sucker in there and it holds it. It's, again, it doesn't seem like much, but man, it makes a difference. So you're not constantly picking that board up. Let's see, I did talk about my ram mount. I got my stakeout pole, just a simple Yak Gear floating stakeout pole. When I get into a shallow area, I just pull one of these scupper plugs right here, just pull the string, pop it out, and throw that pole right down the scupper hole. Anchors you. Real simple. I've got my rod holder. I've got another Navarre Kayak product that he makes. This handle, he 3D prints these handles. Okay, they fit perfectly using the factory screws, and then it allows you to put a mount on there. This mount is nice and sturdy, doesn't go anywhere. You can see, I mean, it'll hold a lot. And then that allows me to put my rod holder on there. This is a Yak Attack rod holder. And it fits perfectly. It's even got little notches on it so the thing doesn't turn, so this thing doesn't move around. Real simple. You just push the button, it lifts it up. You can spin it, put it whichever direction you want. I like to keep it just like that, because then my handle goes right in through here and it doesn't hit my leg. It's out of the way. Real easy for me to grab. Let's see. Come back to my Ego, what is this one called? Ego Wade Cryptic Medium net. It's a rubber net. I did tear my net, the original net that came on it. Went right on Ego website and ordered a new net. It was real simple to figure out which one I needed. 2 screws here, pop that off. The whole thing comes apart, and then you just thread it right on. Comes with real good instructions. Really good product. I tore the net. I got it snagged on a piling, on a screw or a nail or something that was sticking out of a piling, and I didn't know it until it about ripped the net out of the boat. So that worked really well. Real simple flag device. I use it for two things. Number one, there's a light on top and the flag, of course, for visibility. It's just a simple Railblazer, nothing spectacular. Real easy to use, comes apart, easy to pack, pretty durable. I've been in some pretty funky waves, and it holds up pretty good. But I also use it to mount my GoPro Hero 5. It mounts to the back. I have not gotten the 3BR Power Sports kit for the Hero 5. I've got it for the 8, but I don't have. They make one for the Hero 5 as well, but I'm gonna probably wind up ordering that, and I'll run a wire down here, and then most likely I'll rig something up where I can put power in there, or I'll have a USB plug on the side here, because when I put it in, I'm probably going to put it back here, because I'll run that cable. That wire long enough I can run it down the side. I got the Boondocks. So this was a tough decision. I didn't want a strap-on set of wheels, so I did spend the money on the Boondocks, and I'll tell you what, I use them all the time. I love them. I have very minor complaints about them. I got the upgraded version, or the updated version, with the larger plastic pads that go underneath inside. I had to cut a dry storage hatch out of the back so that I could get in and get my hand in there to put the braces up underneath, and to also put the nuts on underneath these bolts, because with the ones that excuse me, with the screws that came with the Boondocks landing gear, they so I went to mount them, and the very first one I put in, like it stripped itself. I think it cross-threaded or did something. It could have been my fault, probably was, but I wound up having to go and buy stainless bolts to put in here, because I contacted Boondocks, really expensive product. I followed their instructions exactly the way they say to do it, and again, it may not be their fault, but I mean, those screws, they just, I don't know. Anyway, so I wound up having to, rather than just use actually two of them stripped out, but anyway, I put some new bolts in. The other thing that I have a problem with is, well, look, now this side's starting to do it. So this paint is just flaking off, you know, salt water tears stuff up. Yeah, as soon as I hit this with a hose, I'll bet that whole side's gonna come off, just like this one did. So I'll have to paint those up. That's the only complaints. They're pretty sturdy. Definitely recommend, and they tell you to as well in the instructions, put thread lock on these when you put them in, because they will loosen up on you. There's a lot of torque and pressure in here when this thing is moving around, but once you get it in the water, you just pull these out, rotate them up, and push them right back in, and they sit up like that. So they just ride like that behind you, out of the way, out of the water. Works great. And they got these, the new version has these C-Tug wheels. I've pulled it over sand. It is a little bit tougher over sand. There's no bearings in them to rust. It's all plastic, and you would think that that would, you know, wear itself out. It looks like it is wearing a little in there. But what I did is I spray a little white lithium grease on the edges on the pieces that go in, and a little white lithium grease on here. Pop these pins out, pull the wheels off, spray a little grease on there, slide it back in. Sand gets in there and it's just wearing little grooves where the wheels are. I'm sure they'll eventually wear themselves out. Just a simple little carbon paddle. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then of course I keep my Z-Man gear locker here in the back. This has all my soft plastics. It's got a bunch of stuff in it right now, but this has all my soft plastics in it. Tons of area, tons of space for things. Probably too much stuff. I definitely have a lot of gear that I bring with me, but I like it because it's all in one. You can just close that with it's got magnetic flaps. Close that while you're, you know, fishing. If you do need to pick it up, you do have to snap these buckles, otherwise it will dump all your stuff in the water. But I just reach behind me, grab it, pick it up, lift it right up over this edge, take it, put it in my lap. It works great. And then last but not least, these are probably, well, without a doubt, most favorite rod I have ever owned in my life. These are the Fenwick HMG 7-foot. This particular one is a medium fast rod. I've got little floats on them in case they do get dropped. And then this one, I've got the Daiwa Fuego 2500D. It is the high speed retrieve reel. The only problem I've had with this one is I did get I accidentally dunked it in salt water while I was retrieving a fish, and the next day I went to use it. I dunked it in salt water, and then I have never once forgotten to rinse my rods, but that night I must have been tired or something, but I left it, forgot to rinse it, and the next day I went to go use it, and it was frozen up. So anyway, I worked it free, cleaned it up real good, put a little 3-in-1 oil down the shaft, and it fixed it right up. Love that rod, love that reel. And then my other rod is a little lighter action. It is also a Fenwick HMG. I believe they call them Inshore series or something now. But this one is the medium light fast. The HMG 70 ml FS. It's also in a 7-foot. And then this one I run my Shimano Stratic 2500. I absolutely love this reel. Little expensive, but I will tell you what, I was able to fish with a buddy's setup, this exact same setup. It is the most balanced rod in your hand. It's like, I mean, everything just sits perfectly. It's molded perfectly to your hand. The reel seat is perfect. I just absolutely love this rod. And I'm also obsessed with carbon fiber, so it's got that carbon fiber wrap around the outsides. It's pretty cool. probably makes you catch more fish. I don't know, pretty sure that's how it works. But like I said, really balanced, really nice. One of my favorite rods I've ever owned. This is actually the most favorite rod I've ever owned. That setup right there. So some things I would do differently. Sometimes I wish that I had a trolling motor, because I will tell you that pedaling, I pedaled 6.5 miles the other day. That's a long ways. I want to come up with something different for this solution. I haven't figured that out yet on exactly what I want to do. I just have it tied on with rope. I don't know. I want to do something different. I used to keep my fish on a stringer, and you have a 7-foot bull shark or 8-foot bull shark come by and take your whole stringer off the side of your kayak and throw the kayak sideways when he does it. That'll stop you from putting fish on a stringer in the ocean. A couple more things I do want to do. I do want to do some lighting underneath. Like I want to fish it a little more at night. Haven't done that yet, and I want to be lit up in order to do that. So if I'm going to be on the water at night, I want to be very, very visible. Other than that, I mean, it's really stable. I mean, I'm 310, 315. The heaviest I've ever been was 325, I think 325 or 330. I need to lose more, a lot more, but I think I've only come uncomfortably close to flipping one time, and that was because I anchored in current, and when I pulled the anchor, it kicked me sideways. I wasn't expecting it. But the rule of thumb is keep your head inside the lines of the boat and you're fine. And I haven't had a problem. Jeremy and I have had our kayaks in some nasty stuff. I do wear a PFD every time I go out now. I didn't before because the one I had, it just wasn't comfortable, and you know, it was stupid, but I didn't wear it. So Deanne bought me a new NRS Chinook PFD, and it's nice and comfortable. Again, it'll be more comfortable when I lose a little belly. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole setup. And there's not a whole lot of cons. I mean, other than the paint chipping and, you know, the wear, that kind of stuff. This thing's been really, really good to me, and I've caught more fish on this kayak than any boat we've owned, any boat I've ever been on, and some of the biggest I've ever caught too. You know, you can sneak right up on them. Like I said, that drive is so quiet. So anyway, that's my my gear run through. Not so much a review, I guess, because to be honest, there's nothing on this kayak that I don't like, other than the fact, I mean, I do get a little crowded right here. So this section is a little congested, but it's not horrible. I mean, you know, with all this stuff on here, it is a little tough to measure a fish, but I was able to move some stuff. Like I said, Navarre kayak, making all these cool parts, really helped out a lot. So I do love the fact that there are so many. You can basically modify a kayak unlimited. I mean, there's just unlimited possibilities for it. So if you have something that you've done on yours, or a suggestion to make mine more efficient, please leave a comment down below. If you like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully this will be the start of, you know, a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little more frequent video posting. There we go. All right. Anyway, till next time, tight lines. Thanks.